Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, I think this is episode number 6 of the Phoenix Legion podcast. I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
number
terrible
6.
at that.
Yeah, well, running everything by myself, I lose track so easily. What? Do you hear the buzzing?
No.
Maybe I'm having a brain aneurysm.
I mean, my phone just buzzed.
Oh, okay, that's
my
what.
friend messaged me, so maybe that was it.
Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna
literally as soon as you're like, "Let's go," then my phone starts ringing, and I had to text her quick and be like, "I'm on a live." So
yeah, that's
I hope
always.
it's not an emergency because I can't look now.
It's always the way. Hey, welcome to Phil. Phil's a good guy. He is going to be the first moderator on this channel because I've been doing moderators because I can't do everything myself. I found out it's really hard when people are like, hey, show the link for this, and I'm like it's like, I'm doing 10 different things. So we're gonna try to keep it a little bit shorter tonight because we got a lot of, we'll say, intense topics to talk about because unfortunately the world keeps descending into madness. So how was your weekend? Mine was very busy. Or week. It's not the weekend yet. I'm just like,
I don't know. I mean, I guess it was busy. I just forget. Like the days go by, and then I'm like, okay, that day's over, and then
I slept.
Just work, cleaned a little bit. Like today wasn't too much work, so it was good.
Yeah, no, I was off today, so I slept in, and I've been completely lazy all day. If I had a scheduled live stream by myself, I probably would have canceled it. But since it helps being beholden to somebody else, because you're like, no, you put your pants on, like let's go. So let's get to the topics here because, like I said, lots of intense stuff to talk about. So. First of all, we are going to talk about the extremely controversial law in Florida, and it is what we lovingly refer to as the Don't Say Gay bill.
I saw something about this, but I have no idea what it is. So.
Yeah, you're gonna get a chance to learn about it because it's kind of, people have been going nuts about this. They've labeled it what's called the Don't Say Gay bill, and that it's literally has nothing to do with it of any type. But we're gonna. So Disney has gotten in trouble because they gave money to let's just say some politicians that supported this bill, and they caught a lot of flack for it. So now they had to, from pressure to bend the knee, they've had to come out and it's against this. And so but basically even Disney employees are attacking them. I mean, I guess there have been protests, like employees from the park are going out there on their lunch to like stand there, and it's like okay. So a Disney show creator condemned the company's response to the controversial LGBTQ plus Florida legislation that critics have dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. Florida lawmakers passed the proposed legislation on March 8th, 2022, which would, in general, ban discussions of sexuality and gender identity in classrooms from kindergarten to 3rd grade, and would allow parents to sue schools if staff members facilitate those conversations. From everything I just said, does that sound psycho to you at all?
No.
Like, why would you want to have these conversations with?
And we've actually spoke about this before, and it's not. Maybe the last show that we had, it's not a teacher's place to speak about those things.
No, I believe it was the last show we had. Yeah. And it's
why are people mad about it? Are they all people who don't have children in school?
Well, they're not, most of them aren't parents. They're like activists. They're, if you want my honest opinion, I think they're predators. I would honestly, working
at Disney.
I would honestly think that people who support this are predators because they actively support teaching this stuff to kids, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
A school district may not encourage classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students, the bill says, but fails to define what topics are age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. I think maybe the parents might have a say in that. Earlier this month, right. Disney CEO Bob Chapek sent an internal memo to employees addressing the controversy and acknowledging the disappointment in the company for not clearly responding to the Florida bill and why it made the decision to do so. It's a bold statement there, Cotton, when you cater to families.
Right.
And of course, a few days ago, in discussing this bill, we had actually Marvel Studios on Twitter made a statement, and this one's probably going to bite them straight in the keister. From Marvel Studios, we strongly denounce any and all legislation that infringes on the basic human rights of the LGBTQIA plus community. Marvel Studios stands for hope, inclusivity, and strength, and we proudly stand with with the community. Today, we pledge to continue our strong commitment as allies who promote the values of equality, acceptance, and respect.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not wrong, but children are not part of that community. Literal children are not.
No, they're not.
So that, granted, adults, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you come down to it and you talk about it, and that's where the whole gender identity comes in. It is not a gender identity. It is sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically what it is. And children need not know about any of that.
No. And
I mean, okay. Let's say maybe, like when we had sex ed when we were in like 10th grade, something like that, when it's about that time when kids are actually just, they're messing around anyway. So,
yeah. I mean,
preschoolers and stuff. No.
Yeah, I don't understand why a third grader needs to be talking about, gender identity and their sexual orientation with an adult. I feel like that's predatory behavior. Oh,
yeah.
There you go. My camera out when I'm focused. Continuing on with the here. Florida has one of the largest economic powerhouses in the United States, largely thanks to revenue brought in it by Disney World in Orlando, which is true. They're actually the most visited place on earth. Seriously,
yeah.
Employs more people at a single location than any other company in the U.S. Which is, hey, no problem. Over the last 2 years, Disney gave nearly $200,000 to Florida lawmakers who supported the proposed LGBTQ plus legislation, including the bill's Republican sponsor, State Representative Joe Harding and State Senator Dennis Baxley, according to popular information. So here comes Dana Terrace, the creator of Disney's The Owl House. I am going to assume that is for children.
What the hell is the Owl House?
I don't know, but we're going to find out. Denounced Chapek's response, saying the memo contained nothing of worth, just a pile of hollow assurances and defensive finger pointing to their inspiring content.
Oh,
okay. We were being told that the discrimination in the world would be destroyed by the kids who will be inspired by Disney shows and movies, but that'll be awfully difficult when those same kids are brought up in discriminatory environments, emboldened by Disney's financial support to homophobic lawmakers.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is that homophobic, talking to third graders about sex?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? I think she's drinking. I think
some people just mash words together to make it sound like something is way worse than it actually is. Like, it's like what's that called? I mean, it's basically creative writing if you think about it. But embellishment. It's actual embellishment, and there's trigger words in there, because literally, who reads an entire article word for word? I skim, and then you pick out words that stand out to you. So if you're used to reading certain trigger words, then you're gonna be like, oh man, yeah, this is right, because your brain is programmed to read those particular words. So
yeah, absolutely.
Embellishment.
She goes on simply, I thought the memo was a pathetic attempt to appease our outcries. In the memo last week, Chapek said that the company bring about lasting change is through the inspiring content we produce and welcoming culture we create and the diverse community organizations we support. Uh, which Terrace said is insufficient to make long-term change. Disney shouldn't rely on its content to inspire a generation of better people. And that's not how things work, Terrace told Insider. If they want to support diverse groups and underrepresented communities, then they also need to denounce those that want to do those people harm. I don't think she has
Where's
any.
the harm?
I don't know. I don't think she has.
You're harming children by having teachers talk to them about sex. Like that's the harm.
Like what?
Not harming anybody.
Like when you sexualize children at a young age, that's literally abuse, and it sets them up to have loose morals and to not make, I mean, just look at everything that surrounded Epstein, with all the girls that came out, who were teenagers, who it took them years to get over everything that happened to them, and they were old, 6 years older, 7 years older. They were
and to be honest, most people that experience something like that, they never get over it.
No.
Like you function and you move on in daily life, and you can have a somewhat normal life, but deep down inside, like, those scars are always there. You never get over it.
Nope. She continues to clamor on. The Human Rights Campaign will not accept. Okay. So he basically, Chapek later announced the company would sign a Human Rights Campaign petition against similar U.S. bills to Florida's bill and donate $5 million to the HRC, which she said last night it would not accept the cash. The Human Rights Campaign will not accept this money from Disney until we see them build on their public commitment and work with the LGBTQ plus advocates to ensure that dangerous proposals like the Florida's Don't Say Gay or Trans bill don't become dangerous laws, and if they do, to work to get them off the books, the HRC statement read. How is that the Human Rights Campaign when you're literally, I mean, what, don't kids have human rights?
Exactly.
Like,
wouldn't you think that small children would deserve some sort of protection?
You would think so, but it's absolutely nuts. It's
twisted.
It is. It's literally an indoctrination of kids. It's trying to force them, because and one of the last and final things is that if a student confides in a teacher and says, "Hey, I'm having feelings about this. I think I might be a girl, or maybe I like I like Johnny," and indicating that maybe a little boy likes a boy or something, that it says that the teacher or the staff member has to tell the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that schools going forward were saying, well, this is a dangerous precedent, because we're making a safe environment for the kids, and we don't want there to be backlash. So you're ultimately, what the school is saying, they're advocating for not telling parents about a sexualized conversation they had with their child.
Yeah, no.
That's the worst part about it.
No. And also, if you think about it this way, I mean, I know there are quite a few adults who somehow magically forget what elementary school was like and stuff. But I will tell you, I would not talk to my teacher about any of that shit. Like, I wouldn't even talk to my teacher. Like, I was like, first of all, like, why am I going to talk to an adult about things? You know what I mean? Like, I was always weirded out. I was like, okay, they're adults, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if I liked somebody or whatever, I would tell my friends, but I wouldn't just go and tell an adult, like, oh, you know who I like? So-and-so.
Yeah, no, it's,
and so that opens up to a conversation where, how comfortable is too comfortable with children speaking to other adults about different issues? Like, my children's teachers had, I'd say the greater majority of them have been wonderful, but on the same hand, they're like, I like that teacher or whatever, but they view them as teachers. They
Mhm.
don't see them as an extension of like their family or something like that, they're their teacher and that's it. So
Yeah. I mean, I didn't confide anything in my teachers. I
yeah,
talked to them about schoolwork, if anything. I was always partially mortified when a teacher wanted to talk to me because it usually meant I was in
yeah.
trouble and I had to tell my parents something, and then I got in more trouble, you know? So I don't understand where the mind frame is, why kindergarten through third grade is. I don't think this is a big issue, and
Yeah, no.
they label the name something a certain way, and it's just to promote fear. That's all everything is
Hmm.
nowadays, is fear porn. It's to
Yeah.
freak people out, so everything has to be worse than the last.
Well, to
um
get an immediate reaction, and then you're fueling people's adrenaline. I really feel like there's some sort of weird fucking machine that's like a satellite or some shit that's floating around that has to absorb all of this damn adrenaline that people are putting out from like all of this shit going on. There's got to be, because where is this energy going? It's got to be going somewhere. I
I
mean, and it's cosmic energy. So it's not something, it's there. It's absolutely there. Like,
it's fr- it's how Nancy Pelosi's been in office for so long. She absorbs all the basically all of our spirit and energy. That's how Joe
that's
Biden's
it.
still upright as a corpse.
They're just fear
I
vampires.
I mean,
Or like,
they're legitimate people who feed off fear. They get a high from it.
yeah.
It's why bad relationships, people stay in them, because it's the roller coaster. And
Hmm.
it's the same thing if you can feed off somebody else's energy.
Yeah.
I completely believe that they're all about it. It gives them, they're high on their own farts, so to speak. So um
Yep.
yeah, I'm sure we'll probably be hearing more about this as time goes on, because the media is not happy about it. But up next on the list, we have a college swimmer who basically just won the championship. Very excited about this, by the way. Very excited. I am. This is so terrible.
Against that lane line. She's having a great race here, and she's going to get second. That will give her a lot of confidence. Remember, she's just a freshman.
Leah Thomas pulling away over the final 150 meters. Had to work for it. She was pushed over the first 350 meters. Thomas wins the NCAA championship. Ended up very close for second, with Wyatt taking it ahead of.
Is she the one that is trans?
Yeah.
And yep, and we've talked about this before too. And it's not fair because we just had basically a biological male dominate a woman's sport.
Yep. And so there was an interview afterwards, of course, because we got to celebrate. And Twitter isn't taking too kindly to it. I was actually surprised. Leah Thomas is not a woman, I think, was trending, or it was Leah Thomas as a man was actually trending on Twitter. I'm surprised they didn't squash it, but here's the interview afterwards.
Leah, how did that performance measure up to your expectations coming into this meet tonight?
I didn't have a whole lot of expectations for this meet. I was just happy to be here, trying to race and compete as best as I could.
You've undoubtedly been under the spotlight over the past few months. How have you been dealing with that and reasoning with everything?
I try to ignore it as much as I can. I try to focus on my swimming, what I need to do to get ready for my races, and just try to block out everything else.
What did that race mean to you?
It means the world to be here, be with two of my best friends and teammates, and be able to compete.
Thank you for stopping by.
Question.
Yeah, shoot.
I'm assuming that this person has swam for quite a long time.
Yep.
Since they were a child.
Yep.
I am curious on the stats
Uh,
prior to transition in the male part compared to the female part.
they were ranked like middle of the pack. I think they were a mediocre swimmer at best. I
Makes
don't.
sense.
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics, but definitely nowhere near top tier collegiate level. Not even close. Nowhere near close to the top tier. I think it was like ranked 300 and hey, there's JT. What's up,
Hello.
What's up, JT?
So I mean, it makes sense. You're not winning in your area. I mean, and I'm not, obviously, I am not putting it on someone that, this is the reason they transition. That is personal. That's whatever.
Mhm.
But as far as continuing the sport and dominating it compared to before, and then that also raises the question of, speaking of Twitter, I had seen a tweet just a little bit ago that it was I don't know what it was posted from, but it was basically this girl who, I don't know if she posted on Reddit or something like that, but it was her talking about when she was about 16 or so, she wanted to transition. And her parents were like, yeah, cool. Or I don't even know if she didn't need permission, something like that. And they're like, it's no big deal. You could reverse it at any time, this and that. And then now she's tried to reverse it and she has all of these problems, can't have kids, all of these things that they never warned her about. And then, people are saying like, it's basically a science experiment, like, and it makes me wonder if this person is in college. I don't know how long the transition had been in place, but if it was happening when they were in high school, then the parents had something to do with it. And did the parents push it? Like, was it this person's choice to do this, or did the parents push it?
As of everything that has been found out to date, this is something that came about very recently, and that's because it's acceptable now. So I am 100% for everyone being who they want to be. However, I do not believe this. I think it's crap. I think it's in my opinion, I think it's a lie. Let's see if
Yep.
it's because if you scroll through the comments here, where are some of the other ones, like, yeah, so like literally these are only like literally a couple years apart.
Right.
Yeah, so Penn State.
And all, the difference is like the hair's longer and there's some skincare going on, and like I don't.
This
just seems insidious to me, and I don't like to sound like mean or insensitive, but it just seems insidious to me.
It does. It seems very calculated. Where's the one photo? And gosh darn it, there's been so many comments since I saw this morning.
And regardless, if this person had chosen that path for themselves, there is also the fact that morally, you should realize that it is absolutely unfair.
Yeah, absolutely.
The women to compete. So if you want to be a woman and you want to transition, that's fine. But on the same hand, you physiologically will always be a man, and you'll always be stronger, and you're going to have different muscle mass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And even like, I applaud even Caitlyn Jenner, like, is against this. Like, wholeheartedly. And here you go. Here you have someone who is an Olympian and had transitioned, and they're like, no, it is not fair and it shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, I think I found the right thread to find the photo, because I have like, I have so many questions, like especially about like if you see the full body, which somebody did capture like after the event or
Well, I
something.
noticed just in that interview right here, like that's,
Mhm.
there's your strength.
Yeah, there's
That's
there's a whole lack of female we'll say anatomy, and in its place there's a whole lot of penis.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah, there I can't find the photo. It's so far. Oh, maybe it's in the offensive ones. Like, man, this thread is so long. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
no, it's
because
just
quite frankly,
understandable.
it's just not it's not acceptable in my opinion. I don't
No.
understand why this is a thing, especially when you have photos from the same university, different sides of the coin. Like I
Mhm.
have a lot of questions, and you, unfortunately, because now you're winning national titles, you have
Yeah.
something to answer for. I'm sorry, you do. You need to
Yeah.
explain yourself.
Nope.
You're getting
Yeah,
you're getting
absolutely.
national media attention. I'm sure you're probably getting some type of endorsement deals from companies who support this.
Mhm.
You're riding the train that a female yes, shout out to After the Weekend. It hit 100 subs, which is awesome.
Yay.
So awesome. We love them over there. They show me a lot of love, which including this shirt. I got so it was custom made, but I am going to be having merchandise made pretty similarly going forward. I have to do it myself, so it's I have to put everything together and on the website and get it approved, and then of course, so I'm a one-man show. Moving to the third and final topic, because like I said, we're going to keep this one probably around 40 minutes long. Gas prices, I have noticed, have hit a world record high.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people are having a lot of questions about that. And from Yahoo Finance, the Keystone XL pipeline has nothing to do with high gas prices. Yeah, they are somewhat right. I will give them a Politico.
Yeah, because isn't it not built all the way?
Yeah, it's not built all the way
Like,
because
obviously
because the first thing
they halted production.
Yeah, the first thing Joe Biden did was when he got into office was stop it. But
Stop building it.
he
Like,
greenlit Russia's Nord Stream 2 to go to Germany, and that was before all of this crap happened. So JT says it is easy to do. I can help. Oh yeah, I'll definitely we'll be talking about it, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, they give me a lot of help over there from After the Weekend. JT is one of their he's the moderator on their Discord, and he does a lot of great work.
cool.
So yeah, we're gonna which they're very right. There's never been any lost supply. The Canadian firm TC Energy proposed the Keystone XL pipeline in 2008 as a way to ship more oil from Alberta, Canada to Nebraska, where it would then enter existing pipelines for final transport to the Gulf Coast refineries. There were other pipelines bringing Canadian oil to the United States, but XL would have been a more direct route that also added capacity. The project drew local and national opposition from the beginning. This type of oil TC Energy wanted to transport was usually dirty, triggering environmental protests. Local communities, including Native American tribes, were worried about spills along the 882-mile U.S. Portion of the pipeline. I hate to. Oh, geez. 449 to 8. Oh.
Mine was 435. I just got it.
We're regular is down to 425 here from 429, so it dropped 4 whole cents after jumping 85 in the last 2 weeks or whatever it was. R2 says
I
still
always get 87, so
man, you are lucky, dude. Holy cow. Hey, it's the missus.
Hello.
They all thought it. They're saying that we thought the stream was 8 p.m. our time. No. It's always going to be Eastern. Scottsdale was 5:10. Well, in California, they're getting murdered with
Yeah,
like $6 and $7 a gallon.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really it's
Yeah,
I mean, and then that's the thing too, where like, a lot of people think, oh, California, like there's, people who have money there, whatever. Dude, not everywhere is like freaking, you're getting $30 an hour for something, you know what I mean, for a job. Like there's a lot of places that
like
it's a big friggin' state, okay? It's literally like the whole East Coast. So you can't just say like everybody that lives in California has money. Like
it
you gotta
literally
be dense.
it literally makes no sense because this is something that would have given us energy independent. Now look, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we can't do things to, human beings are great at adapting. And there are things that we're going to have to do to lessen our impact on the environment going forward. But it's not like we need to do it. It's not like we can do it in the next year or 10 years or 20 years. It's going to take probably a good 25 to 30 years to implement all this stuff. There is not enough. There's not enough resources on this planet currently for every person on the planet to have an electric car. Elon Musk said this. He's one of the smartest people on the planet. He's like, the way the resources are, he's like, not everybody can have an electric car. It's not even feasible. He's like, you can't do it. But they won't listen to him because he doesn't parrot what they, out by where we lived in the Bay Area, it is $6.55 to $7.
Goodness.
Why I called it, can't afford you. The last few years we were there. It's become true. Wow, I didn't know you used to live there, man. Like that's nuts. I'm glad y'all got out.
Crazy.
It's insane. And this is hurting everyday Americans. I know that our politicians who have millions in their bank account, even though they don't make millions a year. I don't know how they do that. I wonder. This doesn't affect celebrities and politicians and stuff like that. There's like Stephen Colbert. Oh my God, he's like, I'll pay. He's like, he's like, I'll pay $7 a gallon. He's like, I'll pay $15 a gallon if it's for the for a good cause and making things
better. A $200,000 car.
Well, and then you know what he said? He's like, because I drive a Tesla.
Oh, well, there you go. Listen, dude, I have a 2006 Ford Explorer, and I have to drive everywhere I want to go because nothing where I live is within walking distance. So, yeah.
These people,
even if you live in a big city and you don't have a car, you know what I mean? Like, if you live in New York, you don't have a car, like, you're like, nah, whatever. I mean, obviously, bus fare is going to go up, but most people are going to be taking like Subway or something like that, But on the same hand, most of us out here in the United States got to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't walk to Target. I can't walk to work. Technically, I can walk to a grocery store, but it's quite a bit away. So.
Yeah, I don't know. These people are so far out of touch. And then the people on social media or even in the audience, because he was getting claps and cheers, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know what I don't know what the demographic of his audience is. I don't know what the average salary there is. I mean, maybe it must be expensive to go to the late show or whatever, the Tonight Show, but this dude
Don't they give tickets away for free still, or no?
I have no idea. I wouldn't go see that ass clown if my life depended on it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
if I had to go sit through one of his shows or fight an angry bear, I'm gonna probably fight the angry bear and try to find a way to survive. I can run pretty quick.
I'll just talk to the bear and then send it to his house.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. at the rate inflation is going, Dollar General, which we could walk to, will become our grocery store. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, even Dollar Tree here has went from like everything's $1 to like everything's like $1.25, and it's probably gonna become everything's $1.50, and everything's like gonna be. It's inflation is set to hit. I believe this week is set to hit 11%. Like
Oh my
that's
God.
astronomical.
I went to get chicken like not last week, maybe the week before. And I asked my daughter, I was like, oh, do you want barbecue chicken? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I went to get 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and it was like $10. And I'm like, what is this? And then I was like, okay, so I'll just get the ones with the bones in them. And it was like a couple bucks cheaper.
Yeah.
So.
You know,
But I was just like, holy hell.
it's out of control. I mean, because I guess you could look at it this way. If you have like a vice that you need to quit, like smoking, drinking, or eating junk food, now's a good time to do it because it's too damn expensive to have a bad habit. I mean,
Well,
it's like
I'll just not eat. That's all.
yeah. Getting that cup of noodle.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of my other.
That blood pressure up.
Yeah, well, apparently, from what I heard, all the sodium's in the little packet. So if you just eat the noodles, you'll be okay. You'll be
Yeah, but the
mostly
cup of
okay.
noodles, the seasoning's already in
Oh
it.
yeah, that's
So
right.
you
I
can't
guess
change it.
you got to get the other kind that
The
has
pack,
the
the
seasoning.
ramen
Yeah.
packets are different. Yeah.
Why is Ryan's cat on the ceiling? What is that? Oh, it's my hats.
Where?
I was like,
Oh.
right here above me, like
Yeah.
like it's their hats.
Uh-huh.
Their hats. Okay, I was like, what in the? He actually got me for half a second. I was like, what is that?
I was like, I can't see my ceiling on there.
I'm like, I don't want to look. It's like a bad
What's
horror
behind
movie.
me? Ah.
I would recommend keeping some dry goods on hand, white rice and beans. Well, yeah. No, trust me, as somebody who's in the military, and frequently, we have hurricane season down here. We don't really have a lot of issues. We get a lot of a lot of like tropical storms, but it's rarely a hurricane. But if there's even the sign that a hurricane's going to hit us, whether people start buying stuff like it's crazy. I mean, well, people are panic buying now. When the gas's prices skyrocketed, I saw gas stations that had no gas, and I'm like, oh, the idiots are at it again. It's the toilet paper again.
Well, and then like us, we have Sam's Club, and like their gas is cheaper than everywhere else. And right when like they started going up, there was just so many people lined up there. And a friend of mine had posted on Facebook the other day that she waited for a half an hour to get gas there. Listen, I'll pay the 5 extra cents a gallon and go across the street to Sheetz. I'm not going to sit for a half hour to get $20 worth of gas. And literally, that's all I put in every time. I don't have the money to go fill in my tank all the time.
Yeah, you have a large tank.
I work on tips, dude. Like, like, whatever I get for the day goes to the grocery store and in my gas tank.
It's absolutely out of control. And I have no idea when it's going to get better. And in China, is having a resurgence on the coof because their vaccine is crap. It's not, so they're locking down parts of China again. They are offering a discount anymore here only at a certain times. Yeah, they aren't. He says that they aren't. I use the app called Get Upside, and you can usually save like 10-15 cents depending on what gas station you go to, and it just goes into your account, and so you get like cash back. I'm probably just gonna let it build up until it hits like $100, then I'll just chuck it back in my bank account or something, or I don't know, maybe I'll let it build up indefinitely, and maybe buy something myself something nice when the world becomes rational again.
Just get more gas.
Yeah, just get more gas. Yeah, it's we're looking at having a real issue with the gas prices and everything that's going on. This is restructuring. New sponsor. Yeah, it's not a sponsor. I heard it on one of my favorite podcasts, though. It's one of his sponsors. So I started using it before all this happened, when it was still like, I don't know, like $3.50 or something like that. And then when it shot up, and I'm like,
and it always goes higher in summer, no matter what. Always raise it in summer. So here we go.
But let's jump back to the article a little bit here, because I want to read further, because unfortunately, continue reading. Yes, please. After years of debate, the Obama administration denied a national permit needed for the project in 2015. That stopped it. In 2019, President Trump reversed. Do you need to address kids?
I don't know yet.
I just heard mom.
No, it wasn't mom. It was shut up.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was yeah. Oh, that's always nice. 2019, President Trump reversed that position, allowing construction to begin. As a presidential candidate in 2020, Biden pledged to revoke the permit, which he did on his first day in office. And as first day in office in 2020, he did. Last June, TC Energy officially canceled the project. Had the pipeline been built, it would have delivered 830,000 barrels of oil per day from Canada to the Gulf Coast, where the refineries would process it into gasoline and other finished products. TC Energy's never said where those products would end up. Well, you literally just said gasoline. Like, what are you talking about?
Where do you think gasoline would go?
Oh man, they could have been sold in the U.S. market or loaded on tankers for export to other nations. Europe is having an energy crisis right now because they get all their oil from Russia. Gee whiz. See, it's when you buy from the worst people on the planet, you can't. Oh, that's not what the view I wanted. I don't like my face that much. When you bend the knee and buy things from the worst people on the planet, you kind of open your gut for them to slash you at any time. And now we're seeing what happens when you do that, because did you show Nadine your fanny pack? No, I did not. That's for the parks only. We talked about this. He says, "Let's go, Brandon." Yeah. When Germany cut off, said that they wouldn't use the Nord Stream 2, their prices for energy literally doubled in days. Like literally went, and they're probably only going to be able to last another few months, where they're going to have to cave. And Joe Biden is for his credit here, he reached out to the United Arab Emirates, and they told him to kick rocks, because he wants to reinstitute the Iran nuclear deal, where we give them millions of dollars to please don't make a nuclear weapon, to where they take our millions of dollars and they sponsor terrorism and help make a nuclear weapon. Like, I don't understand why you think you can buy these people off. These are bad people. They don't care. Like, and then so the Saudi Arabia told us to kick rocks. They won't take Joe Biden's phone call. That's legit. That was a legitimate news article, that they will not return his phone call to get more exported oil over here from Saudi Arabia. So he's asking Venezuela. That's a communist country, where people literally kill animals in the streets so they can eat. Like, are you psycho? Oh, I guess who Venezuela is friendly to? Iran, China, Russia, the worst countries on the planet.
What in the heck?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
These people, at this point, I'm sorry, it has to be on purpose. It has to be deliberate. There has to be something that they're doing to tank the world economy, because it's not just our economy, it's the world economy that is tanking.
Right.
I mean, this affects the whole entire world. And I don't understand. And I think it goes along with the whole the whole thing about COVID, they're like, oh, well, the world's never going to be the same and we got to restructure things. And I'm like, it sounds like they're just taking economy so they can restructure, the way they see fit. Because I'm sorry, Klaus Schwab, who sounds like a Nazi villain. You hear this guy? Seriously. Did I ever play that? I think we did on this channel. He wrote a book. He's the head of the World Economic Forum. And JT says, "Hey R2, it takes 17 hours to drive from Arizona to Arkansas." Wow, that's quite a ways. Definitely take longer to drive to Florida. Probably not that much longer. Well, where I'm at in Florida, yeah, but the Panhandle, it wouldn't be bad. But yeah, it's I mean, this is more conspiratorial, but I have questions when the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, who runs it, wrote a book called The Great Reset and supports supports Vladimir Putin, and he supports Xi Jinping of China and Justin Trudeau, who probably had the most psycho lockdowns in history. But let's finish this here and then we'll wrap it up. Because we're over. It's a flawed logic to assume this would have been represented a huge boost in U.S. gasoline supply that would have lowered prices. Doesn't make any sense.
Flawed logic.
Why does that?
Having our own supply of things would not lower prices. Wow.
Okay. Dear God. The United States consumes about 20 million barrels of crude oil products per day. And well, Joe Biden, he just released I said Arkansas, it's Alaska. Oh no, he meant Arkansas. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought I read that wrong. Okay. So it's he released 50 million barrels of oil from our reserve. That lasts 2.5 days. That's it. And that's probably why we saw a 4-cent decrease in Florida. So the quantity that would have been moved through XL would have represented about 4% of U.S. consumption. If you have removed that much oil from the U.S. market all at once, it would have been enough to bump prices upward, at least until the new supplier replaced the lost oil. Yes, but the thing is, though, is that we can actually, that's coming from Canada alone. We are actually a very mineral-rich country when it comes to.
I was just gonna say, don't we have oil rigs?
Yes.
The Gulf and shit.
Yes, and we are a very.
What happens to that oil? Where's that go?
We don't really do a whole lot with it because permits are so hard to get. They take years to get cleared, and that's all thanks to our current president and his previous and not his previous predecessor, but the one he was vice president for. Because their constituents are like, no, we need green energy. We need to do this. Like, well, look, green energy is great. I'm all for it. I love the planet. I don't hug trees, but I do like to breathe air. Coal power plants are bad. They're very bad, and I don't doubt that. But solar and wind is nowhere near where it needs to be. If you want to have a completely independent grid, we need to be sinking money into geothermal and nuclear technology. And yes, people say nuclear and they go, we're not talking about Chernobyl. Like, the nuclear plants that were built in the United States were built in the 70s. The 70s. Like, you don't think that nuclear technology that's on like aircraft carriers hasn't been constantly updated to modern technology? You know how easily that would be to transition into new nuclear. So you build nuclear power plants, geothermal power plants, get rid of the coal. You'll have some natural gas, maybe refine that to make it better. And then you pair it with solar and wind. And then of course you have an infrastructure that basically supports itself. When wind and solar is hot because is on it, like during the daytime, obviously it soaks up, it recharges batteries and stuff. Have a battery system. The batteries are crap. The batteries don't last very long, which is a huge problem. And the wind turbines, you know, they're finicky at best because obviously in Texas they froze. So when those systems are down, you need to have geothermal and nuclear to pick up the slack, and even natural gas to pick up the slack. And then when the slack is alleviated, you can slow those down. And it's a balanced system that bounces back and forth. But nobody wants to talk about this because they're just like, we're all going to have electric cars. You have to you have to mine the lithium and crap like that for electric cars. And guess where? Russia and China and Afghanistan.
Yep.
Like this, it's absolute insanity. He says, R2 says, sorry, I missed the majority of the stream. I feel horrible. No, you're good, dude. Everybody got lives, man. Like stuff happens. But they don't want to make people happy, Ryan. They want to, they want to be people to be dependent on the government. And I'm not sure which government anymore. I'm going to commit Harry after this. And that's the issue is that we're not doing what's smart for average Americans. We're not doing what's smart for, now that everybody's in the chat, I can start handing out wrenches. I'm handing out moderator wrenches to, to people that I trust so they can help out. Because I cannot do everything. I got to scroll back up, find the misses. There we go. Find the misses. All right. We got a good 4 mods in here. Awesome. So yeah, it's something going forward that the American people are going to have to basically yell and scream at the voting booths in November, because if you don't, we're going to be in a world of hurt, and we're already hurting. So yeah, you can. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Oh, I love that movie, dude. That's such a good movie. I love when Justin Long's character raises a hand. He's like, queer bait, go ahead. And I'm just like, holy, what'd you say? Like, you can't say that. And YouTube, that's on a movie, so don't hit me. Don't hit me, Mama Susan. I don't want to be hit anymore.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. We were having fun with some dodgeball, the dodgeball movie comments. Yeah, we're gonna have to. The polls are not looking good for old Joey Biden and all his supporters who in Congress who can't seem to pull their head out of their butts and listen to legitimate people who are unhappy. I don't know why you would double, triple, and quadruple down on stupid. Like, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
If people are saying, hey, and this hurts low class, lower middle class Americans, middle to upper class Americans are, upper class Americans aren't going to have a problem. Uh-oh. Those kids are going to get thumped. You're fine. We're going to wrap it up. So we covered everything I wanted to. I appreciate everybody stopping by. You love blue lighting overcame my body with all the power that Ryan just bestowed upon me. And so we are going to take this out so she can probably go whoop up on some kids. And we will.
No, I'll just stay up here.
You're like, I'm going to hide. And I'm thinking next week let's stream to both of our channels, and you can to kind of make up for lost time for last week. So before you go, stick in the back room, and there's something I want to run by you real quick, and it should be like 2-minute conversation. So we'll see y'all. Appreciate y'all have a good night.
Thank you for stopping by. Good night.
See ya.